All right. Back into the Greater Lord's consciousness.
Huh. This sure seems very different from what Paimon imagined. Shouldn't Irminsul be in this realm of consciousness?
Right. No? I mean, well, hold on. Irminsul, though, is an actual tree that actually exists, though, Paimon.
Yes, that is our destination. But I didn't expect the remaining consciousness of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata to be as polluted as this.
Or, I mean, I guess a memory of Irminsul. I don't know. That's actually an interesting question. I mean, Nahida just said yes. So, but, I guess we'll see. Must be the forbidden knowledge, yeah.
Forbidden knowledge?
We've already had this conversation. Okay. Let us proceed forward. What's back here, though? Oh, nothing. All right. Let us proceed forward into the consciousness of... Is that a ship?
Are we in the air? And why is there a huge boat?
That's
A
the
good
boat of
question.
consciousness,
Huh.
which symbolizes reason here. Its course is the direction our consciousness is traveling towards.
Huh.
If we lose control over our consciousness, we will fall into madness. So let's make sure the boat stays on course.
Yeah. Is that just a metaphor, then? But the literal here? Also, is that like a... It's not quite a solar eclipse. But... I don't know. It kind of looks like it almost is. That's not quite what solar eclipses look like. Actually, considering Rukkhadevata is often compared to the sun, and that one is almost completely shadowed over, I feel like that's, yeah, that might be a little fitting. So that's the boat of consciousness. The ship of consciousness, rather. I guess instead of a train of thought.
Wow. What are these?
Oh,
the
yeah.
monsters seem to have been affected by them.
Similar to the withering corruption. There's a lot of them here.
There is no escape. Busted. Quietly now.
Oh, hey. Any others? Oh, one more. Bunch more. Hey, stop that.
Torn to oblivion.
Where's the flyer? You know, stop that.
Gotcha.
You're annoying me. Your shield is in the way.
Stabilize. Order guide you.
There we go.
Confess.
Any more? No? All right, then. Okay. Well, so that's the course that our consciousness should take, then, Nahida?
Take it easy. Quietly now.
Hey, guys.
Game's up. Fun's over. Now you shall perish.
Good old electro charge.
Gotcha. Quietly.
Four-leaf sigils have appeared in the sky.
Oh? You mean the little anchors that we use to travel? I didn't actually know what these were called. That makes sense. Oh, we're gonna get up onto the boat. Onto the ship. Okay. It's actually kind of sad that this is the state of her remains of her consciousness.
Here comes the catch. Gotcha.
Hmm. All right. The boat gonna travel?
Solidify. This is order.
Busted.
Down from there.
Game's up. Fun's over.
Illusion shattered.
You little Haley. And you.
To control the boat of consciousness, we need to find the helm first.
That should be up there. But I do want to take a little look around. There's a tree growing out of it for some reason. Yeah, there's the helm. We just go up the stairs, though. This is representative of her consciousness, right? Very specifically. But are we moving? Oh, yeah. I think we were.
We changed direction. Are we still going the right way, Nahida?
Yeah, we need your help to steer us through this place.
Mm-hmm. Judging from the current route, the boat of consciousness will soon take us out of here.
Excellent. Wait. And to where? To Irminsul? Or at least her mindscape version of Irminsul? Oh, there's the moon. That's you, Nahida. I mean, I have long wondered the connection between Irminsul and the Archon, the Dendro Archon.
We'll be arriving at our destination soon. How are you feeling? Are your minds still intact?
I'm doing fine. But, I mean, everything we've learned so far has led me to believe that Irminsul is, in fact, separate from the Dendro Archon. That, well, I don't know. Maybe Ruka Devata, and by extension Nahida, were born out of Irminsul. That'd be kind of interesting if they were like a, I don't know, for lack of a better word, a fruit of the tree of, you know, a fruit of the world tree, basically. Some strange thoughts came from time to time, but I seem to be okay now.
Huh? But everything's been completely normal for Paimon.
Yeah, Paimon, we all know why that is.
Hopefully there won't be any more interruptions. This time, we should be able to meet Greater Lord Ruka Devata.
Excellent. I mean, we'll be kind of meeting yourself, though. Like, you effectively are one and the same.
Are you saying you've never met Greater Lord Ruka Devata before?
I mean, it'd be a little weird if she had.
No, it seems that my birth and her death took place at the same time.
Yeah, Paimon, remember what we learned in the pyramid? I mean, Nahida is the result of Ruka Devata using up almost every bit of her strength to try and, you know, save Sumeru and remove the corruption, the forbidden knowledge. Like, this is what Ruka Devata turned into.
Otherwise, I think she would have given me a little more guidance, and I could have done a better job.
Unless we're completely mistaken. That's the sense we got from the last accounts of that high priest. Yeah. I mean, I still say you've done a good job, Nahida, given the circumstances. The fact that when you were incapable of resisting, the sages basically backstabbed you.
Hey, You've done a great job, Nahida.
Yeah.
Let's get out of this creepy place and go meet her.
I will die on that hill, I swear. You are actually a fantastic Archon. Everything I would want in a god.
So, is this the place you were
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about?
It's here.
The base of Irminsul?
This is absolutely it. Yeah, I connected here the first time. But this is what I'm saying, Paimon. I'm like extremely sure that this tree actually exists in the prime material, not just in this mindscape. It is such a beautiful tree, though.
Well, this is the place.
Yes, it is. It's the same place for my memories.
We're here to find Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, right?
Or at least some echoes of her. Whether, I mean... Then again, I guess it makes a little bit of sense that Greater Lord Rukkhadevata is still deep within Nahida, considering, you know, how that they are the same person. Just, you know, buried deep within. So I guess it should be possible to communicate with her somehow.
But the one standing over there is...
Nahida.
Is that me? She looks exactly like me.
Yeah. I guess, yeah, Nahida doesn't know, does she? I'm surprised Paimon doesn't know. Is this just a sort of a conclusion I drew by myself? I felt like it was a bit more on the nose than that. But I might have been jumping to conclusions this whole time.
Are you Greater Lord Rukkhadevata?
Yes, that's me. Are you surprised by my appearance?
Can't believe my eyes. Same, the two of you look exactly the same. I mean, yeah.
Irminsul and the surrounding lands have been reproduced here as they were years ago. But this is just a realm of consciousness.
Yeah, the real Irminsul is out in the, you know, I guess north of the desert.
We are manifestations of the same nature. Hence why we would appear exactly the same.
Manifestations of the same nature. So are you actually a manifestation of Irminsul then? Actually literally born of the world tree?
We're of the same nature. Why?
Granted, you did used to look a bit older there, Rukkhadevata. An aged Nahida.
Because you are me, and I am you.
Yep.
You are me in the new samsara.
The new samsara. A long time ago, there was the whole philosophical point about whether the world is just in one eternal samsara or something. This feels related to that. I think I didn't give it too much credence then, but...
The new samsara?
As Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, I'm the avatar of Irminsul.
Right.
And you are the purest branch snapped from Irminsul.
So you are literally of Irminsul, a part of it, a piece of it.
Imagine it this way. Even if a tree dies, its branches will eventually take root and grow, continuing the tree's life in another form.
Right. I mean, they can, sure. And so, you were the old Irminsul, and then as Irminsul was dying, I guess, and by extension, you were probably dying at the time. You snapped off the pierced branch, allowed yourself to die and sprout anew as Nahida. But even then, even as the purest branch, I suppose there was still that couldn't entirely get rid of the corruption.
I'm merely the remaining consciousness of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. The real me has presumably died a long time ago.
Yeah.
Judging from your appearance, I've probably been dead for 500 years.
Just about, yeah. So I was a little mistake. So I think, based off what we just learned, she didn't just decrease in size with the reduction of her power, but it's a little, like, they are the same person still. They are both Irminsul. But more Nahida is a piece of her that she snapped off to try and save the, to try and save Irminsul.
But you're finally here. My new self in the samsara.
Yeah. So this is the connection between you two. Lesser Lord Kusanali and Greater Lord Rukkhadevata.
If this is true, then am I going to be a great Archon like you someday?
You are a great Archon, Nahida. I will keep saying it as long as I have to. But you will grow as powerful as her, assuming the tree continues to grow. Of course, this makes the sage's foolishness even greater. I still hate those assholes. Specifically, the senior sage, the grand sage. But,
Though we share the same nature, our fates are bound to be different. All things have their own fate.
I suppose that's true.
When a branch grows into a mature tree, it won't be the same as the original tree.
Right. You're a continuation of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, but you are also your own being.
That's why fate is the ultimate knowledge, isn't it?
That's a great insight. Yes, very good.
Your eyes do glow a bit more than Nahida's.
It's also precisely why you won't become like me.
Really?
Oh, no, Nahida, not in a bad way.
But perhaps you may become an even greater Archon than I.
Yeah. I mean, having actually met Rukkhadevata's consciousness and heard about Rukkhadevata through the High Priest of King Deshret, I think Rukkhadevata was legitimately a wonderful Archon in her own right. And, but yeah, Nahida is also a wonderful Archon and will become an even greater Archon.
I already see a determination in you that I didn't possess in my time. And the future that it leads you to will be yours alone. Along with the blessings from your past experiences. Don't worry. The growth of wisdom is like that of a plant. You only need to wait quietly for the flower to bloom.
And wisdom, well, wisdom is knowledge plus, or experience plus time. Or knowledge plus time. A little both, I guess a little both. Yeah, point is, wisdom grows with time. So Nahida, you only continue to grow more wise as you age. I have faith in Nahida too. She'll definitely become a great Archon.
Come to think of it, the sages never had the faintest inkling of the meaning of wisdom.
Oh, no, yeah, I've been harping that drum since not exactly the very beginning, but pretty early on. I think right about when the whole samsara on Nahida's birthday. Maybe a little after that.
Thank you. Nothing makes me happier than discovering that the Archon I always admired was in fact myself in another fate.
Yeah. I like that too. You were basically just It's actually a little ironic. You were basically thinking of how you couldn't live up to, well, yourself, which is silly, of course. Of course you can live up to yourself. You can even surpass yourself. But yeah, no, the sages were both had no understanding of wisdom, and were also just had no understanding of the meaning of being a scholar, a researcher, or a sage. I mean, the whatever definitions you want to use of those words.
It's so nice to speak with you, Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. I've always wanted to meet you.
Yeah.
The feeling is mutual. From the moment I snapped the branch off Irminsul and created you, I've also looked forward to talking with you.
Yeah.
Could you tell me why you wanted to create me? And what exactly happened when you died?
I'm happy that your consciousness seems to have this uncorrupted bit of it as well. And yeah, I mean, I have a vague sense, but it would be nice to get details to fill in all the gaps and maybe correct any misconceptions.
Ah, I see. You're here seeking answers, right?
That is right.
Everything that day, even the sky itself, changed into a color like this.
Oh? It is the Conria Cataclysm.
At that time, the seven were all summoned to the nation of Conria. Except for me.
Yeah?
I had a more important task to attend to.
So you actually did not take part in the purge of Conria. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to imagine Rukkhadevata, or Nahida for that matter, taking part in that, massacre.
I had to protect Irminsul.
Yeah. I mean, if it is in fact the World Tree, I mean, that makes it by far the most important thing in all of Teyvat. Like, bar none.
The disaster occurred together with the pollution of forbidden knowledge. At that very moment, with my consciousness connected to Irminsul, I sensed something was wrong. The pain started to torment my mind. By the time I reached Irminsul, it was already displaying signs of corruption.
So, what I'm gathering then is that originally, thousands of years ago, King Deshret, gained forbidden knowledge, either intentionally or accidentally, which resulted in the corruption of the downfall of his, or the corruption of his kingdom. And then I maybe have to rewatch that, but Rukkhadevata helped them sort of stem the destruction, but it wasn't good enough. And eventually King Deshret had to sacrifice himself entirely to save his people. And I originally had thought that that wasn't good enough, and eventually the corruption returned. And then that's when Rukkhadevata had to do the same. But it seems like the second time wasn't actually because of King Deshret's civilization, but because of Conria. So apparently they came into the forbidden knowledge as well. Which is actually kind of interesting. Did they get it from the King Deshret civilization? Somehow? Is they're possessing that knowledge why well, I mean, there's a lot of reasons it seems that Celestia didn't, or the Heavenly Principles didn't like Conria. But the possession of that knowledge is one of those reasons, I imagine, that they decided to purge them. But they didn't purge King Deshret's civilization in the same way, so it can't be the only reason.
Had I not repelled the pollution of forbidden knowledge with King Deshret thousands of years ago, I might have felt even more hopeless and lost.
Right. but now you knew what to do.
So what exactly is forbidden knowledge?
My guess has been something to do with the heavenly principles.
It's a kind of knowledge that doesn't belong to this world, and a form of truth that can't be understood.
Huh. Kind of knowledge that doesn't belong to this world. Interesting. And a form of truth that can't be understood. And curious. Kind of knowledge that doesn't belong to this world. I mean, I wonder how closely related to this we are as the traveler. I mean, if my guess is correct, we did come to this world around, well, my guess was always around 500 years ago, you know, with the fall of Conria. I don't know. Because we aren't of this world. So we could bring knowledge that doesn't belong in this world. But no, that doesn't really line up with the whole Deshret. And it doesn't really... What is a form of truth that can't be understood?
It came from the very bottom of the abyss.
Oh.
Even I could never understand it.
Huh. Forbidden knowledge is knowledge from the very bottom of the abyss. Interesting.
The world is constantly rejecting it, leading to all kinds of bad phenomena.
Like the withering, Elazar.
If we allow forbidden knowledge to pollute Irminsul, I'm afraid the entirety of Teyvat could fall apart.
So is this all tied with the sort of the current activities of the Abyss then? I mean...
So, there's knowledge that even the God of Wisdom can't understand?
I suppose so. I mean, if it just doesn't... If it's kind of knowledge that doesn't fit into Teyvat, just completely nonsensical to it, I could see that being a thing. Even if it would make sense to, say, a creature of the Abyss.
At that time, I knew I couldn't repel the forbidden knowledge with my strength alone.
It is interesting that knowledge has such a great effect, but...
Which is why I created a device that compiled human wisdom and named it the Akasha.
Let's go back a second. The time I knew I couldn't repel the forbidden knowledge with my strength alone. That's why you created the Akasha. Okay. The device that compiled human wisdom. Right, you deemed yourself not wise enough to save Irminsul. So you wanted to tap into everybody's wisdom. Hopefully, cumulatively, all of humanity, or basically the collective wisdom of the entire world, including your own, would be enough.
It's truly the world's most amazing invention.
It is actually pretty cool when it's not being corrupted by those assholes.
Thank you. For a long time, I thought dreams were the fruit of human wisdom.
But...
Though it was selfish to do so, I borrowed people's dreams using the Akasha. Then I compiled their wisdom and all of my own power.
Of course, that's another aspect of the foolishness of the sages. It's like, no, your greater lord completely disagreed with you about dreams and probably about dancing and just enjoyment and entertainment and everything as well. She was not, in fact, a stick in the mud. That doesn't seem like not quite.
Thanks to the wisdom of the people of Sumeru, almost all the forbidden knowledge was cleared from Irminsul.
Yeah, but that's the problem. Almost. Not all. Did you at least ask them before doing that? Because that is important. Can't just steal the dreams. They have to give them freely and willingly.
But things didn't go as smoothly as I thought. I had a terrible headache, which gave me an uneasy feeling.
Yeah, you had already been tainted.
And then I remembered that my consciousness was also connected with Irminsul.
Right.
It brought me knowledge and wisdom, but vile corruption as well.
I mean, Nahida's is connected with Irminsul too, right? Isn't that a problem?
From the very beginning, my existence had been polluted by the forbidden knowledge.
Right.
Oh no. How could that happen?
I've experienced that pain in your consciousness. It must have been a horrible experience.
Yeah, I'll bet. As for you, Paimon, how could that happen? It's because she and Irminsul are, while different, also the same.
Yes, but my feelings weren't important.
No, your feelings
The
are important.
important thing was that
I mean, sure, there is a greater good, but never discount your own feelings.
even if I died, my existence and everything related to me would continue to exist in Irminsul as memories and knowledge. Meaning that the forbidden knowledge couldn't ever be permanently eradicated.
Right. Okay. So, what you're saying, the reason you, I was kind of right before, the reason you need the world to forget you is to, you know, you need your existence, your memories, like knowledge of you to be erased from the world, basically. Is what I'm getting.
And there's no way for me to eliminate myself. It would be a sort of paradox. So, I took the purest branch of Irminsul as my incarnation in the next samsara, and left a trail of clues. All in hopes that you would come here and remove me and my pollution from Irminsul forever.
In other words, you need her to basically finish you off?
Wait, no, I can't.
Oh, man.
So you realize what that implies. You are very smart indeed.
She is. But still, that's a big ask, Rukkhadevata.
Irminsul has all the knowledge and memories of this world. And as you've realized just now...
So if you remove her from Irminsul, it would sort of ripple out and effectively remove knowledge of Rukkhadevata from people's minds. Like, they would forget she ever had existed in the first place.
Removing me from Irminsul means I essentially will never have existed in this world.
Yeah. God. That's weird. Like, you will have existed, but it'll be like you had never had as far as people are concerned.
But this is the only way to save Irminsul.
That is truly the ultimate sacrifice right there. Not just killing yourself, which she's already basically done, or sacrificing yourself, which she's already basically done, but sacrificing your existence.
People love you so much, and
Yeah.
And they've missed you so much over the past 500 years.
Yeah.
I am exactly the same. So
Aw.
how?
And, oh, Nahida will forget her too, though. Everyone will. Damn.
How can we just forget you like this?
Yeah.
Is there really no other way? There must be something else I can do.
I don't know. I'm not sure about that, Nahida.
You're the god of wisdom, Booer. You should know that there is no other way.
You're calling her Booer too. So you have Kusanali. You have Nahida, and then you have Booer. Is Booer perhaps just like the name of, like, Dendro Archon, perhaps? Just like how I think, what was it? Ball was, I think, the name of the Electro Archon. Versus just A in the Raiden Shogun. I guess Nahida could just be a nickname.
But this is so cruel.
Yeah.
I don't want to forget you.
It is a cruel fate. Kind of sad to ask someone, especially someone like Nahida, to fulfill.
No need to feel so sad, Booer. As someone who delights in wisdom, you should feel joy at finally finding the answer.
Yeah, but on the other hand, best it's bittersweet. Really, mostly just bitter. It's hard to take joy in this wisdom.
These are the words in their entirety. The answer you've been seeking all along.
Yeah?
Let the world completely forget me.
That's about what I thought. And about for roughly the reasons I thought. Still, that's... Damn. Rukkhadevata, you are a great
We all
Archon.
nestle under the great tree of wisdom, peering out to perceive the world. From the earth and from the rain, we perceive its wonders, until we become a white bird to perch atop a branch, and finally snap off the most important leaf.
Aww.
Once upon a time, I alone dreamed in this world. In my dreams, everybody would also dream after they fell asleep.
Yeah.
Wild and wonderful thoughts would emerge from their minds. Some tumbled to the ground, and others floated to the sky, connecting all things in the world into one dazzling net. Among a plethora of worlds were numerous smaller worlds, all of fate, finding within the tapestry their brilliant glow.
Aww.
I gradually understood that these indescribable and constantly changing things are the most profound things in the world. Only they can completely repel the madness.
Oh, man.
Only dreams can awaken consciousness from the deepest darkness.
Oh. Oh, Nahida. Holy cow,
I'm the
Rukkhadevata.
one who posed this question, yet also the one who sought a solution. Saving the world with the dreams of the people used to be my answer. And now, you've also found your own answer, and I shall return all the dreams to the people.
Aw. Junior's odd. Yes! Oh,
Goodbye, people of Sumeru.
Oh my
May you
god.
be blessed tonight with the sweetest of dreams.
Hmm. Rukkhadevata was actually just a good a good god, a good person. It's a shame. Her willing sacrifice like that is simultaneously what makes her a great god, and also, I mean, what makes her, she deserves to be remembered, but she can't be. Damn. I would want to watch that again, I think, and pay extra close attention to her words. But, when I gathered that she's been erased, I mean, all of us should no longer remember. Which means we won't even remember why we're sad. Nahida, are you alright?
I'm alright. I'm just a little confused.
What are you confused about?
We've just saved the world, right?
Yeah, we have. At a great cost.
So why am I crying?
We don't even remember. That's... Oh, God. Rukkhadevata is so special. I'm sure you will... I can see why you would look up to her, Nahida. Don't tell me.
I don't know where this feeling inside of me is coming from, but I feel very sad.
Do you still remember what happened just now?
Just now, we used the power of two gnosis to successfully connect with the Irminsul consciousness from 500 years ago.
Right.
Then, we removed the remaining pollution from Irminsul.
The Traveler still remembers. Did I manage to remember because I'm not from this world? I would guess so. Which also makes me wonder if I, and also my brother for that matter, are immune to the corruption of the forbidden knowledge. I don't know. It's a little dangerous to try and find out. But if we tried to mention anything about this, I think it would just ruin her sacrifice, though.
Yeah, what's wrong? Weren't you there just now?
And Paimon is of this world, though. Paimon doesn't seem to remember either. That actually is proof positive that Paimon is of this world. Has everybody really forgotten Greater Lord Rukkhadevata? Well, you haven't, Traveler. Which I guess means it's up to you to carry her memory forward. Though you can never say. Should I tell them the truth? You would just be slapping or spitting on Rukkhadevata's sacrifice if you did. What's that sound? I feel super sleepy. Is that the corruption? Am I not, in fact, immune? That headache. Uh... That's not good.
Huh? That sound. Traveler! Paimon!
Oh, Paimon was affected too. Okay, so maybe it's not related. The timing seems way too. Yeah, that timing can't be a coincidence, can it?
I've been waiting here far too long.
Oh,
But finally, I have the chance to be alone with you.
Doctor.
All the precious time I wasted has finally paid off.
You little. Yeah. And let me guess, everything proceeded how you exactly as you wanted, right? Because you are far smarter than those foolish sages. As much as I hate to admit it. And also the Balladeer for that matter. I've been wondering because the Fatui are going to get every Gnosis. There is little, like, beyond a reasonable doubt in my mind that that is going to happen. And I was a little surprised to see them lose one of those Gnosis, let alone not gain another. But now this is an opportunity.
The doctor! What have you done?
I don't even know. He is terrifying, though. But yeah, okay, I think it was a coincidence then.
Just a type of sound wave that can quickly put defenseless people into a dream. As I expected, it doesn't have any effect on gods.
Huh. Yikes.
This is the only thing of interest I found among the sage's research. I thought I'd take it for a little spin.
So they actually did manage to develop something, despite their complete failure as scholars. Well, color me impressed. They weren't completely useless. I should. Damn it! I need to stop taking the doctor's side on this. But he's right. I hate those sages so much.
Don't worry. I know you would never forgive me if I actually killed them.
Thank you for that. It's interesting that you care about her forgiveness, though.
I'm here to negotiate with you. Naturally, I won't do anything dangerous that could potentially damage our relationship.
Interesting. You know, this does bring up a good point. They've taken quite a wide variety of approaches with each of the Archons. I mean, Venti is the only one that I remember them actively ambushing and stealing his Gnosis straight up. I could be misremembering how that went over, though. It was early on, and there were a lot of things I didn't understand at the time. But with Zhongli, it was just they made a contract with him and fulfilled their end, and he freely gave up his. Then with A, I'm not positive on exactly that one, but she also freely gave hers up to the Wanderer. I think it was largely because she just didn't care about it anymore. I'm not sure what exactly she got out of that.
Negotiate with me? I heard you had already left Sumeru. Why are you here again now?
I believe that was in fact a ruse. Or maybe he legitimately did have things to take care of with the Tsaritsa, but I'm guessing ruse.
I left Sumeru, but I also stayed in Sumeru.
I mean, we know they have the capacity to build intelligent, androids or cyborgs. Because Catherine is apparently Shneznayan. Are you the same, the doctor?
Even the god of wisdom is restricted by the habits of cognition. How disappointing.
I mean, that's the obvious, in my mind, answer to how he could both have left Sumeru and stayed in Sumeru. I mean, there's a million Catherines as well. Oh, that's not fair. There's probably one Catherine per nation. But still.
You mean there are many different versions of you in this world?
That is also scary, especially if they're all powerful.
An astute guess. Even the same individual will have different cognitions at different ages. A long time ago, I made a major decision in hopes of preserving all my perspectives of how I observed the world.
Huh. So, I'm guessing there is the real you. You're not all of you are cyborgs or androids, whichever. Probably androids. But you, my guess then is that you, throughout your life, have made copies of yourself, android versions, and then implanted basically a copy of, cloned an instance of yourself into that android. Made a mirror, to put it in computer speak. A mirror image of your brain into that hard drive.
Observation is the first step of any experiment, but observing the current world doesn't satisfy me. It lacks an important dimension, that of time.
Huh. I mean, I suppose. You could just leave notes about your perspectives at the time, though, right? Seems a bit extreme. I respect the dedication, though.
So I saved segments of all my ages and made them into independent individuals.
How many of you are there right now?
That's all there is to it. Indulge me. How does the God of Wisdom find my method of seeking knowledge?
Are you the real one, I wonder? The original, if you prefer, the one that is still aging. But to answer your question, I don't know about Nahida, but I find you an improvement over the sages, but I'm sure there are plenty of ethical concerns with how you pursue knowledge as well.
It's an insult to the very concept of life. Life inherently has many rules and restrictions, each with its own significance and reason to exist. They can't be broken on a whim.
Good. Amazing, even.
Ildatori is so fascinating.
Indeed, it's difficult for humans to make peace with themselves, not to mention oneself from a different period.
Yeah, that does bring up a good point. When you think about your past selves, oftentimes you might not like who you were in the past or strongly disagree with yourself from the past. It'd make having actual stagnant clones of yourself from the past a bit awkward. Potentially.
Since you were in the academia, why wait until now to show up? You could very well have stopped us and helped that fake god.
Yeah, see, I don't think he cared about Balladeer becoming a god in the end, actually. I don't know. I'm still not sure what their reason for allowing that was.
Simple. Let me ask you this. Would any staff member ever help the subject in the middle of an experiment?
So it was just an experiment for you. Was this an experiment sanctioned by the Tsaritsa? I mean, everything you do is in furtherance of her whims, is it not? Her goals.
It was my experiment. So why should I interfere with the results?
Right. I mean, he's not exactly wrong, Nahida. If the actual purpose was, you know, whatever it is, I don't know what his experimental question he was trying to answer was, but nah. Apparently the goal wasn't just to get another god, to answer a question.
The Academia saw the plan to create a god as their ultimate goal, yet you only saw it as an ordinary experiment.
Yeah, like I said, he is much better as a scholar than they are, just, you know, much more evil. He's a mad doctor, but he is still a doctor.
You really are crazy.
Yeah.
If the experiment succeeded, you would have had a new god on your hands. How would you have faced your own god then?
I don't know. I mean, I have to imagine she was okay with it, but...
Would you still take the same stance? Would you still hold the same view of yourself?
That's what I'm very curious about. Like, I want to know what he was trying to... What question he was trying to answer. Apparently, now we know it was, in fact, an experiment. But that's only half the answer to what he was up to. And also, was the Tsaritsa the one who approved of this?
I'm first and foremost a scholar. These results should be left to the judgment of the hypothetical me confronted with that outcome. But you're right. And that's exactly why I'm disappointed with the conclusion of this experiment.
Yeah.
As an individual, you don't have any sense of belonging. You seem to have even fewer convictions than a typical scholar.
Yeah, I mean, as long as we are, once again, with the caveat that all those members of the academia do not gain the title of scholar, then I'm okay with that, yeah. He definitely has fewer convictions than the typical scholar.
Oh no, I certainly have my own convictions. They just don't fit your standards, that's
Actually,
all.
that is also fair. I mean, they can be convictions even if we don't agree with them.
All right, that's enough conversation for today. The experiment is over, and it's time to tidy up the equipment and reclaim any useful materials.
Yeah. And that material being said Gnosis, and presumably hers as well. I mean, the fact that he's, I don't know, casually strolling up to a god and saying, I'm going to take your Gnosis.
For example, the Gnosis.
What were you trying to answer? Just the question of whether it was possible to create a god? I mean, okay, but what was your reason for wanting that answered?
Lesser Lord Kusanali, you're an intelligent Archon. I'm sure you understand the disparity in our combat abilities at this time.
Ooh.
Besides, you have no way to use that electro-gnosis in battle.
Right. And yeah, I don't know. She is a god, but yeah, she's both a young god and not a god geared towards combat. She does have a lot of power regarding the mind, though. But against Ildatori, I don't know.
Didn't you say you were here to negotiate with me? Somehow, it's starting to seem like you intend to take it by force now.
It does. It does sound like that.
I'm merely stating a fact. After all, I'm also a scholar. Naturally, I hope to show proper respect and dignity to the God of Wisdom.
Fair enough. That is about what I expected. You're an evil scholar, but you do still, you know, it makes sense for him to pay respect to Nahida.
Your hypocrisy is built on absolute confidence.
But yeah, he is He's saying he's paying lip service to respecting Nahida, but he is still going against her.
I understand your scheme, but... what if I were to destroy the Gnosis now and awaken the heavenly principles?
Nahida? Are you sure that's wise? I mean, I trust you, but,
Awaken the heavenly principles?
yeah, I wouldn't, Doctor. That's not fun times for anybody. I'm still leaning towards the heavenly principles being the unknown god. Or the unknown god being a manifestation of the heavenly principles, perhaps. But,
Do you think that's really possible?
I don't know.
The heavenly principles have been silent for many years, but the Gnosis are symbols of their control over Teyvat and all the laws.
Right. For a Gnosis to be destroyed would probably piss off the heavenly principles. Be like kicking a wasp's nest.
Will the destruction of a Gnosis attract the attention of the heavenly principles? And if so, how do the Fatui plan to deal with the consequences?
I mean, if I'm remembering right, the Tsaritsa is, hates the heavenly principles. But it does feel a bit early to be awakening the heavenly principles.
Do you dare to gamble such a possibility with me?
Oh, damn, Nahida.
Gamble? How surprising. I thought you would show evidence or use rigorous reasoning to prove your point. The word gamble is the last thing I expected to hear from the god of wisdom.
Well, I mean, it's an unknown, Doctor, whether this will awaken the heavenly principles or not. There is an argument to be made for it, but it's far from a sure thing. Therefore, this is in fact a gamble. Whether the destruction of the Gnosis would actually awaken the heavenly principles and what that would do to your plans and, well, just everyone present. As well as whether Nahida will actually go through with that.
But this is a clever move. You must have seen through me when I first captured your consciousness. As a scholar, I respect all possibilities. This has always been my principle and is an essential trait as an experimenter.
Yes. Damn it, Doctor. You make it hard for me to dislike you. The manga made it easy to dislike you. But now you in-game is making it harder, and it's partially just because of the juxtaposition with all the other quote-unquote scholars. You're still evil, but I kind of like you.
Indeed, I can't ignore this possibility. So tell me then, what are your conditions?
An actual negotiation now.
This foreign Gnosis will only lead to disaster if it stays in Sumeru.
Right.
But this Electro-Gnosis is the prize I obtained after defeating one of your fellow Harbingers.
Also true.
Now, as the one who initiated this cascade of events, shouldn't you pay the corresponding price?
Oh, what kind of price are we talking? Because he also, don't forget, I'm pretty sure he wants your Gnosis too.
Price? Interesting. What price would you have me pay?
How about erasing all your other segments?
Ooh, that is a hefty price. I mean, if it wasn't something that hurt, it wouldn't really be much of a price worthy of a Gnosis.
So this is how you wish to restrict me, the most threatening opponent of the Nation of Wisdom. What you request of me is like plucking out the eyes I have placed in the dimension of time.
It is. It is an actual cost for you specifically. It's actually, I'm impressed, Nahida. That's a good price. That is actually a very good price.
Segments are extraordinarily difficult to make. They require extremely rare resources and enormous amounts of time and effort, requiring me to destroy them all here and now. Bravo. A suitably wise decision on your part.
I agree. I agree. It is. And I mean, it's the kind of price that's fitting for a god to demand, I think.
Yes, how very interesting. Can I assume that you have long been wary of me?
Probably.
Among all the versions of me, this segment you see now is the most selfish. If it weren't me, your idea wouldn't have worked. What did you see when you were imprisoned? You were observing me, and that's how you know I've long grown tired of their doubts and endless arguments.
So you are, this is important. You are one of the segments. You are not actually the original. That's what I'm gathering from this. Of course, I could also say that he just considers all of himself to just be another segment in time, and eventually, say, another year, however long, he'll turn this into another just past segment and continue being a, you know, he could consider this just the segment of his current self. I mean, if not, I mean, he can't just erase his original self, though. Probably. I don't even know if he has the power to just shut down all of his other segments. But yeah. Grown tired of their doubts and endless arguments. So he really doesn't agree with his past selves. Which, yeah, I mean, that's not terribly surprising. I don't think I'd get along with my past self. Go back far enough, at least.
Like you said, it's difficult to make peace with yourself.
You made peace with yourself, Nahida.
Being as smart as you are, have you managed to do that?
I see. If you think all those versions of me are worth a gnosis, then deal.
I mean, yeah, like I said, this is only for you specifically, this is actually a good price, I think. But, you know, also considering the fact that it has to be a price he would be willing to pay, because when bargaining, you can't just, you know, overstep your bargaining position too much.
You sure didn't hesitate much. Is the relationship between all the versions of you really that bad?
Maybe.
I don't think there's any need to dwell on that. The surplus versions of me can be exchanged for a gnosis. Do you think anyone can offer themselves at a higher price? Besides, with my abilities, it's only a matter of time until I find better perspectives. Perhaps it's best to say, you're just temporarily ahead.
I mean, I have practical concerns with him having so many versions of himself. I don't actually think I have the same problem with it as Nahida, though. Like, making copies of your mind at various points in time, I don't have a fundamental problem with. I don't really view it as quite the perversion of nature that Nahida does. But, there's the practical issue that makes him far more dangerous. Have a whole bunch of Ildotores walking around.
But what I'd like to know is, how can you be sure that I've really erased them?
True.
I can see your remaining honesty.
Oh. That's right, she's a pretty good lie detector.
What a ridiculous decision! You can't be serious!
How could I have been so short-sighted?
You think this is the end? Wait, I'll have revenge!
You'll make this moment count.
Is that all the doctors?
You will regret this!
Oh, yeah, those are all...
Well, have you confirmed that it's complete?
Yeah, those were all the other versions of the doctors, kind of pissed off at his decision. I'm surprised he could do that remotely like that. Are you the current segment, then? You must be. It's just weird the way you were talking about yourself, then.
Here, take it. The future of Sumeru City will be in my hands alone. I will shut down the Akasha and let curiosity and the thirst for knowledge drive the realm of academics once again.
Yay! Thank you, Nahida. Yes, let us return this place to proper scholarship, not people wanting to look up, just have the answer handed to them. Damn it. That one is... the way those scholars treated... Well, being a scholar just upsets me at a fundamental level.
There won't be any further gaps for you to exploit.
It truly pains me that my academic achievements have never been appreciated in my homeland. Of course, I have no interest in being rejected by this city for a third time.
So you actually are from Sumeru, then? You didn't just come here to study? To join the academia? I was a little unsure about that, whether you were actually Snezhnayan or, Sumeran. Sumeruan.
Another chess piece. And where is your dendronosis?
You haven't bought that yet.
Don't be greedy, Harbinger of Snezhnaya.
No, this is a different transaction. If you intend to turn off the Akasha anyway, then there's no further use for the Gnosis of Sumeru, is there?
I mean, I don't know, it is her Gnosis, she could use it to increase her power, could she not? But, I mean...
Besides, isn't it the Archon's duty to deliver what's desired of the Seeker? Oh, judging from your expression, you don't seem to find the idea very agreeable. Then let's think of it this way. Since you're the god of wisdom, how about I exchange some knowledge with you?
Oh? Do you have knowledge worthy of a Gnosis?
People exchanging knowledge with the god of wisdom is the stuff of legends. Yet here you wish to exchange knowledge for the god of wisdom's property.
It is quite insulting, isn't it?
Arrogant as that is, it has piqued my interest.
Yeah. I mean, I'm very curious what knowledge you think is worthy of the Gnosis.
Let me ask you, have you in all your mighty knowledge ever heard the rumor that the skies of Teyvat are fake?
I don't think I have. The skies of Teyvat are fake.
Huh?
Seriously. Well spoken, Nahida. Huh?
That's the secret hidden by Irminsul concerning the truth of this world.
The secret hidden by Irminsul concerning the truth of this world I'm wondering if this is at all related to the truth that resulted in the corruption, the forbidden truth.
Once I finish telling you about this, it will be time for me to say goodbye.
Yeah.
With negotiations, we've all gotten what we wanted. I'm very glad I got to meet you like this.
I'll bet. I actually do believe he's a little sincere about that. Just very creepy. And, you know, he's a weird fella. Very sociopathic. But not, I don't know, not quite as malicious as I thought. Well, yeah. I mean, the manga made him seem much more violent. But I haven't really gotten that sense from him as of yet.
Your arrogance may know no bounds, and convictions may mean nothing to you. But I'll still listen to what you have to say.
Please tell me we get to hear it as well. Oh, no, we're not. Everything falls silent, secrets and dark truths. Yep. Several days later.
Together! Okay. Wake her up.
Been out for... Am I back in Gandharvaville? That'd be fun. Full circle. Yeah, we're back in Gandharvaville.
Are you awake?
I think.
Kali says it's time for breakfast. Come on, get up!
Good morning, Paimon. And Kali's got her Elazar fixed. Cured.
Good morning! How are you feeling today?
Pretty good.
Good to hear. It looks like we've recovered pretty well. Not even Tainari could stop us from going out now, right?
That's right. On that day, we lost consciousness in battle. When we woke up, we found ourselves in Gandharvaville, and Tainari and Kali were looking after us. I guess we were brought here by Nahida, or I don't know how she did that. I doubt she could carry us. Sino. I heard that it was Sino who brought us here. Tainari complained that Sino was always sending people to him, but he has taken great care of us. I'll be honest, I half expected us to be like, oh yeah, we just woke up from you experiencing that dream in the cave. Or no, the first time we fell unconscious, rather. That would have been quite the twist there. You know, start of a new samsara. But no, not quite. After completely exhausting ourselves, we had a good rest here. After a few days, we finally recovered enough to be able to go back out. From what Tainari and Kali have said, the Akasha has been turned off completely. The people of Sumeru will no longer rely on it. Good. I mean, it is a shame because it is extremely useful when used properly, but yeah, no. They were way too reliant on it and lost sight of what, you know, the meaning of a scholar actually is. Such a big change will certainly affect people's lives, but it will definitely be a good thing. Yeah. Also, it serves as a good punishment for those assholes. I mean, not the only punishment I want. I still desperately I crave the Grand Sage groveling at the feet of Nahida for, you know, forgiveness. And amongst worse things, but that's like the bare minimum of what I want.
Come on, Traveler, let's go!
Thank you, Paimon. New teleport waypoint unlocked. Oh, another of the memories. A toast to victory. Yeah. Kali's got her Elazar fixed, cured. Yay. C3. Whirling beads. Nice.